Hi everyone, I'm Astha. Today I'm going to talk about the Google Software Engineer interview process. So, Google coding interviews are really challenging. The questions are complex, specific to Google, and cover many topics. The good news is that the right preparation can make a big difference. And after watching this video, you should have a good overview of the process itself, what the interviewers filter for, and a couple of tips for preparing on this. Quick intro. I'm from Prepfully. We offer mock interviews and resume reviews from coaches and recruiters on our website, along a range of other interview prep services such as interview questions, free practice with other candidates, interview guides, and so on. So in that context, this overview has been put together with the help of Google SWEs, the very same ones who have helped hundreds of candidates with mock interviews and advice. As always, if you have questions on a specific aspect to the Google SWE interview that I don't cover here, ask in the comments below. And if you find this sort of short video useful, please like the video. Right then, enough talk, on to the overview. In a nutshell, there are 3 steps to the Google Software Engineer interview process. The first, resume screening. The second, technical phone screen. The third and the final step, the Onsite Loop, which has 4 to 6 45-minute sections in addition to a lunch break. Let's talk about step 1 first. The first step to Google is the resume screening. First, recruiters will look at your resume and assess if your experience matches the open position. This is the most competitive step in the process. Nearly 90% of the candidates don't make it past this stage. So we'd recommend taking a bit of the extra time to tailor your resume to the specific position that you are applying to. If you think advice from a Google recruiter could help on this front, there are several available on Prepfully who can help you with your resume reviews. Now, the second step is the technical screening. Once your resume will be shortlisted, you will be invited for the technical phone interviews. The average candidate faces 2 phone interviews. You will need to write code on some sharing tools like Google Docs, and that will be visible to the interviewer. Each interview will be about 45 minutes covering data structures and algorithms. You will get 2 questions per interview and will be expected to write code. Here are some suggestions to ensure that you do a good job. You need to write the code for the coding question which the interviewer will ask and throw out a brute force solution in the beginning, but you should try to improve your solution well. Think about the time and space complexity and see if you can improve upon those. Practice writing code on Google Docs. It is different from a text editor. There is no indentation, syntax highlight, or auto-completion. So it's good to practice on Google Docs and get familiar with it. Think out loud and speak clearly. People face trouble here in phone interviews, and tell your strategy to the interviewer to solve the problem. The document will update in real time. Definitely don't try to game the system by copy-pasting an answer from somewhere else. This will be super obvious to your interviewer. The interviewer may ask you to do a second phone interview if the first one in that they were not able to process properly. Finally, the on-site round. The third and the final step then is, as always, the highest effort one. There are going to be 4 to 6 interviews here, and you're going to get a range of questions covering coding skills, problem-solving skills, and command over computer science fundamentals. You'll face coding rounds, and if you're interviewing for L4 or above, you'll also have system design rounds, the complexity of which will depend on your experience. Technical coding round and general analysis questions. The candidate is tested on whether he or she can solve real-world problems using the knowledge of data structures and algorithms. The expectation here is to be able to arrive at the most optimized solution to the given problem. In a general analysis, the question interviewer will give you a mathematical, design, or opinion-based question where they will investigate your thought process and how you would proceed as an employee. We'd strongly recommend practicing a lot for coding rounds. You can also try out our mock interview feature with which you can get targeted feedback on whether you're ready for a Google-level interview from the Google engineers themselves. So I will tell you the sequential order of topics most asked in Google, ranked from higher to lower now. Firstly, graphs and trees are the most asked, then system design, following arrays and strings, problems, and lastly, dynamic programming and recursion problems are also frequently asked in the Google interviews. Our advice is to go through the basic tree construction, traversal, and manipulation algorithms. Get familiar with at least one type of balanced binary tree, for example, red-black tree, a splay tree, or an AVL tree, along with the implementation. Understand tree traversal algorithms, BFS and DFS, in-order, post-order, and pre-order traversal. The interviewer will check you on how you decide which data structure is suitable for the problem your interviewer has given you. Do not forget to test your code with all the cases. After writing the solution, you have to test your code, even if minimally, because if you don't do that, points will be deducted. System design round. System design questions are open-ended conversations. The goal is to assess your understanding of how large-scale systems work. It's mostly conducted by experienced interviewers. They will test you for your overall ability to design and scale complex systems like Gmail, YouTube, and the like. If you're interviewing for L4 and below, you might get object-oriented design and perhaps some theoretical systems design-related questions. Here, you're expected to know the high-level details. If you're applying for L5 and above, in seniority, you are going to be asked system design questions as well. How a proposed design is organized and broken down into subsystems is an important consideration in architectural and system design. If you can find the weak points in your own plan, especially those that become crucial as you move forward towards scale, and if you can find flaws in your own reasoning, you will have a much stronger case. If you can concisely explain your thinking and illustrate it with clear diagrams, then you will have an advantage when discussing limitations and trade-offs. Finally, last but definitely not the least is the googliness or the behavioral interview. This tests for a range of values that helps assess your fit for Google. For instance, do you have strong leadership skills? Can you work with a cross-functional team? Can you demonstrate leadership with influence rather than authority? Can you handle conflict and influence senior stakeholders? Are you comfortable with vague problem statements or missions? Can you work with others in a constructive win-win way? Can you get things done? You will be asked many questions like, tell me about the time when X happened. So I have a bunch of examples ready that you can talk about quickly. After you answer, the interviewer will probably ask you more questions to clarify something or the other. For example, they might ask you how you changed things if you had to do it all over again, or what you learned the most from your experience and how could it help you in the job that you're interviewing for. Right then, that's all for this guide. In a nutshell, 3 steps to cracking the Google software engineer interview. Your resume will decide whether you will get selected or not, so keep it crisp and clear. The initial interview is going to cover the basics in limited depth, and the on-site will dip deep across coding, system design, and googliness or leadership skills that you will need to succeed at Google. So good. That's all from us. Once you feel ready for some practice or just want a sense check of your preparation level, you can book an anonymous mock interview with a software engineer from Google on Prepfully. There's a link in the description below. In addition, I have linked a bunch of useful resources in the description, most of which are free. So if you have follow-up questions about the interview, ask in the comments below. And if you found this video useful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you and good luck.
Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe. Our website is prepfully.com. We've got lots of interview questions there. You can also schedule a mock interview with one of our experts. You can find the link in the description below. All the best from us at Prepfully, and we hope you totally rock your interview.